Hey everyone, it's Brett from Hope to Prosper. I'm here at Sea Summit today. Gonna go on a little walk with Bailey, Millie, and Maria. It's a cloudy day at the beach, but it's nice and cool, so we're enjoying that. Okay, thanks for coming along. I'll let you know what I have on my mind. I want to talk today about adventure in retirement. I'm sorry I don't have any exotic location for today's video. I'm just at the beach with my wife and dogs on a cloudy day. But I do have a fun subject, and I hope you enjoy it. So I want to talk about travel and adventure. Travel and adventure are my biggest objectives. That's why I named my channel that way. And I'm doing pretty well. I'm about halfway through my adventure bucket list, and I have some big adventures coming up. I'm going to visit 5 more national parks on a big road trip throughout the Southwest. And so stay tuned for the footage of this road trip in about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I know you're really going to enjoy these locations. I'm really looking forward to this trip. So before we get started, I want to give a retirement shout out to JVeld11. So JVeld is, he's retiring today on Friday, 10/4. And that sounds like a fun day to retire on. And I'm really happy for him. He sent me a comment a couple weeks back saying he was going to retire today. So congratulations, and I hope your retirement's awesome. Keep us posted. So first, let's talk about unusual or exciting experiences. So according to the American Heritage Dictionary, an adventure is defined as an unusual or exciting experience. It's also defined as an undertaking of questionable or hazardous nature. But let's stick with the first definition because I don't think an adventure has to be hazardous in order to be fun. To me, the unusual part comes from seeing new places and doing new things. Every trip I take is special and it's unique. And it's not just the new places and scenery, it's about who I travel with, where I go, and the people I meet along the way. I love to plan out a new trip and research destinations and activities. I watch other people's YouTube videos in those locations so I can figure out everything to do. And I put a lot of time, energy, and effort into the planning because I never want to miss anything important while I'm there. In some of these locations, I may never be there again. And so I don't want to miss anything. It's a big deal to me. Next, let's talk about living in the moment, right? There's so many little nuggets of advice and wisdom regarding retirement, but one of my favorite pieces of advice is to live in the moment or to simply be present. A lot of people say this, and I think it's important. You know, when I first retired, I was so focused on the finances and the future and the money and the withdrawal rate, I just forgot to embrace and enjoy my newfound freedom. You know, my wife and I, we were camping in beautiful places like Alabama Hills and Idlewild and Utah. We were going all over national parks, and we were spending fun time together, you know, walking to breakfast or hiking and just doing cool stuff. When I'd be working, but I wasn't taking it all in. I was ruminating about the numbers and I was worrying about the finances. And it wasn't until months into retirement that I started to become more comfortable with our financial situation, and I started to enjoy the adventure of retirement. So no matter what you have going on in your life, don't forget to take it all in and be present and enjoy the blessings of retirement. It really is a gift, so don't overlook it. Next, let's talk about embracing the uncertainty. Another big mistake I made when I first retired was to let the uncertainty get me down. You know, I'm a goal-oriented person, and I like to control the conditions, and I was dismayed at all the things that I couldn't control in retirement. You know, I couldn't control the stock market or the interest rates or dozens of other variables, and I felt like I was at the mercy of fate. You know, I was putting all these numbers into calculators and Monte Carlo simulators, and I realized that man, I had no control over all these variables. So it wasn't until months into retirement that I learned to accept the uncertainty as its own adventure, and it kind of is. So I actually began to relax my need to control the future, and I became more comfortable with the uncertainty. You know, this changed the whole game for me because I developed faith in everything would work out. And I had a solid financial plan, and I had, substantial resources, and I began to trust it. And I realized that anything catastrophic that could happen to me, to scuttle my future, it was kind of beyond my control anyways. So I stopped worrying about it. And I realized I'd gone from worrying about my job and getting laid off to worrying about my retirement. And that's not where I wanted to be in my life. So I stopped. So let's wrap this up. The bottom line is that adventure's out there, and it's up to you to make it your own. Do you want to spend the next 20 to 30 years of your retirement watching TV or doing crossword puzzles? Or do you want to go out and pursue that big adventure you'd always dreamed about? I've said many times on this channel that I didn't retire 9 years early just to sit around. I didn't leave all that money on the table that I could have earned in the next 10 years just to waste. I'm doing many of the things in my late 50s and early 60s that I won't be able to do them in my late 70s or 80s, even if I get that far. So every moment in our life passes, and then it's gone forever. So keep that in mind. So thanks, everyone, for coming along this week. I hope you enjoyed this subject. I hope it encourages you to go out and plan your next big adventure. I wish you all health, happiness, and prosperity in your lives, and I will see you next week on our next big adventure.